All right, well, welcome to another episode of Get to Know You with Bangert Inc. I'm Kurt, and I have Christopher here with me today.
Hi.
So, Christopher, tell us a little bit about what you do here at Bangert.
I do a lot of reporting work, also tech support. So when people have technical issues, I'll answer those questions.
When they come in and turn the switch on and nothing happens, that's when they call you.
That's exactly right. Yeah, yeah.
How do you like it?
I really like it. Every day is kind of it's a new problem for the most part, and I like to problem solve. So yeah.
So tell me, so before you came here, what were you doing?
So before I started with Bangert, I worked for, it was a company called Xtime, and they did auto dealership service scheduling software. And I did the integration work between those. So from a support standpoint, so I was getting into the weeds, diagnosing why this system couldn't talk to that system and all of that. So it translates pretty well because it was all database work, which is all reporting is, but
So how did you land in the tech space to begin with?
So my dad has he's been into IT and programming for his entire career. So since the late 70s, early 80s, really, and he just kind of translated that onto his children because that's kind of all he could communicate, really. If we're honest. It was just an interest that I took up. And then, through the good old nepotism, I happened to get a position in his company and showed that I could really do the job, and just kind of got into the field that way.
Yeah. So, over the last couple of years, we've transitioned into this deployment methodology of putting software systems in versus the old way of kind of one-on-one and all that.
Yeah.
What changes have you seen occur over that time? Like, what's happened, do you think?
I think the biggest change is both the customers and everybody here laugh a lot more.
That's true.
Nobody's coming in with that stress level.
Yeah. So you've shifted, when you first started here, we were, largely supporting the, Sage 300 product, one of the older products. And now, obviously, we're well into Sage Intacct. How do you contrast those two systems, and how do you like working with the Intacct versus 300 and all that kind of thing?
I'll say from my perspective with reporting, they end up being fairly similar. There's only so many ways you can skin a cat, right? You can only record construction accounting in so many different ways. But from the perspective of technical support, I will say it's so much easier to use modern softwares. They're a lot more intuitive. A modern software like Sage Intacct, if it's something that logically flows through, you start from AP, then go into JC to get to it, then you can do that.
What I would think of it as kind of more expected functionality,
exactly.
We're all pretty tuned in to the modern software world, and we're rapidly getting to the place where those older systems, and 300 is one of them, but there's lots of others. A lot of the 300 competitors, they're getting to be a little archaic, and that was due to the limitations of the tool sets at the time. You can only program within the technology that existed. So, as we go forward with Intacct, I see a lot of possibilities. I'm sure you're discovering that more and more as you go along.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really seeing a lot of opportunity for not necessarily integrations, right? Not something that's necessarily active, but the opportunity to bring in data from different sources much more easily, where something like Sage 300 or even Sage 100 did offer the ability to bring in data. You were limited to just a few spots. And I think that you can bring in data from a lot more sources with a lot more control over how you bring that data in Intacct, whether it's automated through a real integration or just manually going in through their import tools. I think that's one of the biggest spots that you can actually bring that data in and have it all in one spot.
Well, Chris, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for taking the time to have a chat.
Yeah.
And we'll look forward to another one.
Yeah.
Thanks.